Good morning, Superior CDI. It is 11:30 a.m. on June 17th, 2022. I am Aisha Asad as your morning anchor reporting live from SCBI Studios. Today is our annual Throwback Friday. We will be discussing topics such as the ongoing fight for women's rights in Canada, as well as the passing of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. We will also be discussing the famous baby boom, which took place from 1946 to 1964. Stay tuned and keep watching. After World War II, the Canadian population had skyrocketed due to soldiers coming back to their families after a long time at war. During this time, there was a huge demand for school teachers considering the 500,000 children entering the school system every single year. This had also created a huge spike in Canadian economy. People wanted furniture, houses, cars, etc. to accommodate for their growing families. To this day, the baby boomer generation takes up majority of the Canadian senior population by a whopping 55.6%. They receive social security and medical care from traditionalists and continue to maintain their dominance in the Canadian senior population. As we know, the famous five are known for their impact on Canadian society regarding the Persons Act in 1927. But what happened after the fact? Well, after women were declared persons in Canada in 1929, they had a lot more courage in advocating for their rights. In 1954, Elsie Knott was the first woman elected to be the chief of a First Nations community in Canada. This was 3 years after the Indian Act was amended, which gave Indigenous women the right to vote in band elections. In 1969, Regine LaBerge-Cullis was the first woman appointed judge at Quebec Superior Court. She was not, however, the first woman who was appointed judge in Canada, which was Regine LaBerge-Cullis, who was a judge at the Supreme Court of Canada in the 1950s. After the following commercial break, we will continue to touch on the progression of women's rights in Canadian history and the Human Rights Act. Stay tuned and keep watching for more.
Why get the same old cable plan when you could get something tailored to you?
Good question. Come on.
DirecTV Now not only gives you live TV on every device, but you also get exclusive Taylor Swift content. You should definitely get it.
I did, and I love it.
DirecTV Now gives you more for your Taylor thing, because that's our thing.
In 1984, Jean Sauvé was the first female Governor General in Canada. She was also a politician, journalist, and a speaker in the House of Commons. She was also the first woman given this role in the House of Commons. In 1993, which is actually pretty recent, Jean Augustine was the first Black Canadian woman to be elected to the House of Commons. In 1977, the Human Rights Act was passed. This included forbidding discrimination against sex in the workplace and equal pay for men and women. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms, however, came to be in 1982. This was created to protect the basic rights and freedoms of Canadians as a whole and keep them as a democratic society. Although some of these events might be more minor than others, they are all very crucial to Canadian society today. All of these women advocating for their rights have ultimately given today's women a lot more freedom in their career choice. They are also able to do what they would like, free of discrimination based on gender norms. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms, however, has given Canadians a lot more freedom as a whole, forbidding the discrimination against race, sexuality, religion, disability, and cultural background. We hope you learned something new about Canadian history today, and we hope that you tune in next year to Superior CBI News for our annual Throwback Friday.